All right, everyone, we've got some good updates for Wafer that I've been meaning to get out, but I've just been under the weather lately, dealing with some issues in my body, and I've not been able to make any content, and it's just been a while. I started out running the ventures, and then I started getting sick, so it's just been kind of a roller coaster for me, but I wanted to go ahead and get a video out while I'm feeling halfway decent at this moment to talk about the updates that Wafer has to offer. So let's jump right into them. Okay, so the first of these that we're going to start with happened quite a few days ago, about 5 days ago or so, where Assassin took the feedback that we gave about the expedition system, and now we've got some updates, so we're just going to go over those now. You can optionally blacklist heroes from being sent out on expeditions, and that's all through the command. So if you use the command prior to this update, then you'll see now that you've got a few extra options in there to decide what you want to do. Number 2 is you can now send expeditions with success percentages ranging from 1 to 100, which works well for me. I was one of the people that suggested that we should increase that because I like to run the risk of higher level expeditions for a greater reward. So it used to be 50 to 100. Now you can go as low as a 1% chance to 100. So thank you, Assassin. He opened it up for us to have more flexibility and more control over what we want to send. There's also a longer duration on some of the paginations for the commands. It was timing you out after, I think, 60 seconds or so of swapping through the pages when you were looking through your expeditions and other things. So he's increased the duration, so they now show longer as you're scrolling through page to page, back and forth, or whatever you're doing. You've got some more time. So that is a good update as well. I like that. There's also an abandon expeditions button now on the expeditions outgoing. So when you type that command /expeditions outgoing, it's going to show all of the expeditions that you have out. You can change the pages, go to the expeditions, and you can now abandon them with a button that is here in Wafer Bot versus having to go into your game to abandon. So that's been a great addition as well. I'm really happy that Assassin has implemented these quickly, and he's so good at listening to the feedback of everyone. So kudos to him. Number 5, you can now select one or more expedition types to be sent out. So it was set. This is another one that I suggested, as well as many others, I'm sure. It was currently set where you had to pick at least 3. So my prior video, you saw that I only wanted survivors, but because I had to pick 3, I decided to go with survivors, metal, and stone. I no longer have to do that, which is great, and you don't either. You now can just pick one thing. So if you're like me and you want to go solely after survivors, you can do that. You can pick the one and it will go after that. And I will tell you, I've been using it the past few days because I've not been feeling well and I've not been able to send out the expeditions manually, and it's working great for me. It always has expeditions going out and bringing them back in and collecting. So I'm really, really happy with this feature. And then he also notate some extra things down here. If you're having issues with expeditions not being collected, run the expeditions outgoing once and that will fix it. So if you are having a hard time getting that to auto collect for you and they're not collecting, if you try this, that should fix it and it will start collecting for you. He does say here, after adding your account to the auto expeditions list. So be sure your account has already been added, and then use the /expeditions outgoing command, and that should fix any problems if they're not auto collecting for you. And then he says, note number 2, that the only time you will need to use the expedition send is if you abandon an expedition and want to send one instead of the one that you know, in place of the one that you just abandoned. Other than that, if you want to just abandon one and then let the timer go, let it go, and every 30 minutes or so it starts looking for stuff and will automatically send another one out. So entirely up to you, but if you want to get one out quickly, you can go ahead and use that command if you are part of the auto. If you are someone who wants to have that control yourself and you just want to use the command every time, feel free to do that as well, and it works just fine. Prefixes. As of Discord new message content intent to change, you now need to use @wafer command or use the / commands that the bot offer. Okay, you can now use w and wafer prefix and dm / commands to, and exclusively you can use ww in this server only. Okay, so you can only use the W commands in the Wafer Bot server. Most of the commands have been changed, I do know, to the /. Or you can mention the bot @wafer. I don't know anybody that really uses that. It's so much easier, in my opinion, to just use the /. So, but that's there if you need it. If you have any questions, as always, he says, ask in the help desk. I do have the link to Wafer Bot down below in the comments section, so be sure to check on that and join the Wafer Bot server. You can also check us out on True Warrior Gaming, and we'll be able to help you as well. But I highly encourage everyone to at least be a part of Wafer Bot. So do that. You're going to get all the information and announcements faster than I can make the videos. So if you want them quick, there you go. Moving on to the next one, we have power level roles, which is something I was really hoping we would see soon, and we've got it. I'm extremely happy about this. This is going to allow you as an administrator. So this is focused primarily on the people that are the administrators of a server, to allow Wafer Bot to start changing the nicknames of people to show their name and their power level. So if you use the / config PL roles add, it will add a role and its correlating power level to the list. So you have to have this role, you have to have this power level, whatever. So this will give you roles, or allow you to set roles for people based on their power level, and we'll assign a role to them. So this one is awesome. This is really good for, like, we have in ours a 124 plus channel that's only for people at power level 124. I no longer have to just automatically, you know, or like manually give people that role. I can set Wafer Bot and it will do that for me once people, you know, reach power level 124. So that's really good. I like this a lot, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I will tell you, it only works with people that have their accounts connected to Wafer Bot though, so that way it's continually updating and able to show. Then you can remove a role and its correlating power level from the list using the remove feature, or you can use the roles list, which will show the roles and their correlating power levels. So you can have various roles. Let's say you want to identify people that are only in Stonewood. You can have a role called Stonewood, and everybody under power level, you know, 40 is going to have that. So 1 to 39 will have the Stonewood role, and then you can have a canny that's 40 to whatever, and vice versa. So, you know, just all these different options are there for you. So this is a great feature that will allow you to have more control over your community and being able to identify who's where and has what. So this is definitely one that I really enjoy. I really like. I'm not going to do too much in the way of playing with this and showing this command off, because there's really no one set way to do it. This is more for the administrators of Discord servers so that they can set these however they want. But I will say, if you have any questions or you have any issues, you are more than welcome to ask in Wafer Bot, as well as over in True Warrior. You can tag me and I'll be more than happy to help you set this up for your server and get you going. So if you have any questions, definitely let us know. He does also say here that after configuring the settings for the server, the linked user needs to use /profile command, and that will give them the roles based on their main account's power level. So after these settings are done, you need to instruct anyone that wants to have their account affected by this to use the command /profile. Because if they don't do that, it will not recognize it. The bot won't see it. So it's important that they use this command, and then that will give them the roles based on their main account's power level. And then he says here that the override option is used to remove the role if a higher role is achieved. So there is an override option that is going to say if you did have someone from Stonewood and that was a role that you have in your server, and you got Canny and Stonewood, Plankerton, Canny, and Twine. When someone moves from Stonewood to Plankerton, then it will override and change their role. It will get rid of the Stonewood and add the Plankerton. So that's how that works. Like I said, if you have any questions, I know this can seem a bit confusing, and I don't really have the ability to show you because I don't have all of these roles set up, and it's kind of how you have your server already situated and how you want to run this. So I'm not really able to show you much, but I will be more than happy to help anyone that needs it. So just let me know. And this is also in beta, so he needs your feedback to better improve it. So use this feature, let Assassin know, use the /suggest and suggest /bug if you notice any issues. And you can also use the help desk here in Wafer Bot, so use it. All right, and last, the most recent announcement, which came in a few days ago. There's an auto nickname change, which I love. This is another one that I was really looking forward to, even more so than the power level roles, because this one will allow people to have their nickname updated and changed to display their power level, which is something we use all the time over in True Warrior Gaming. A lot of people have this. It allows you to see which players are a little bit more advanced than others, who needs help. It's not to make anyone higher, better, or lower, or belittle anyone, because that's definitely not something that is allowed over in our server. We don't tolerate anything like that. So but I use this a lot because I want to see how people are progressing. I keep an eye on people and watch how they progress and offer help and see those that are grinding, and it's just a really good way to see that. So you can type /config nicknames enable, and this I will show you here in just a second, and this will enable the auto setting nicknames. Then if you want to disable it, let's say you don't like it, you can use the config nicknames disable, and it will disable the auto setting. So it does allow you to pick from one of these options, which I'll show you here in a second. He says all the /config commands are hidden, and you need a role with an administrator or manager, manage guild permission to be able to use the commands. So if you are not the administrator of a server, you're not going to be able to use any of these config. Same as I said up here, you have to be an administrator and have that role in a server in order to do this. So those of you that are content creators out there that are considering using Wafer Bot, and you're like, I don't want somebody, just anybody changing these, you don't have to worry. That's not going to happen. If they're not an admin, they cannot even see these options in Wafer. And then Wafer Bot's role needs to be higher than the highest role of the member that is changing its nickname for this to work. So if you have everyone at, let's say you want this to work even for your moderators, and you give them a special mods rule role or something, be sure that Wafer Bot's role is ranked higher. And I'll show you that. If you go to your server settings and you go to your roles, you have to be sure that Wafer Bot is put towards the top, okay? So it can be here. It can be down here. But if Wafer is below my moderators, which happen to be the warrior captains, this will not work for them. So it's very important that Wafer is set to the top in order to be able to affect the change for everyone beneath. Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, you know where to go to ask questions. So, all right, now let me jump in and show you some of this now. You can type /config, and we're going to do, we're going to disable the nicknames first because I already have it enabled. So when you do this, if you hit enter, it says I successfully disabled auto nicknames. So now the members in this server are not going to have their nicknames changed automatically based on power level. But I want that to be the case, so I'm going to go ahead and re-enable that. And I'll go to config, nicknames, enable, and then here I select my format. So do you want the power level to be displayed first, then their display name, then their power level, or just their display name and you don't even want to see the power level? You want everyone to be on an even playing field. Nobody knows who's who. You can do that. I prefer to go display name, power level. That's just the way I like things to look. And I hit enter and it says now nicknames enabled with a format of, and shows me. So there you go. It's that simple. It's not hard at all. Wafer Bot's just been amazing and it continues to get better. So I didn't really edit this video too much because, like I said, I'm not feeling 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm going to lay down as soon as I finish this. But if you have any questions, feel free to let someone know. Reach out to us over at Wafer, over at True Warrior Gaming. Ask me. I'll be more than happy. You can comment on this video even, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Send me an invite to your server, and I'll help you get set up or whatever you need. So much love to everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some good information out of it. Continue to support Wafer and Assassin as much as you can. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in our next video.